Okay, I'm glad I checked. I'm sorry. Oh boy, was not, there was no sound. Okay, let me regroup, get my brain back in gear. Okay, the first thing we have to do is understand, we've got to understand our overall strategy. So we've got to review a little bit of what the background was for the reason for the trade. Okay, so as we're looking at the market here, the point that I was just making was, if you're not careful, okay, remember we were talking about the market moving down and volume going down? Well, if we look here, now we're going back to the 24th, so if we were pretending like this wasn't there, and we're on the 29th, we're only looking back 1, 2, 3 sessions, and from there, doesn't it look like the volume is basically the same? Okay, so that's why we've got to get perspective. Remember in the kit I talk about always get perspective, always zoom out. Before you take a trade, always zoom out. Always look at the hourly, always look at the 4 hours, zoom out as far as you can. Now from here, you can see that volume, now if we remember, if we look at an average is an easy way to tell us if something is increasing or decreasing. Because when we look at these individual spikes here, you know what, it just doesn't look like a whole lot is going on. In fact, most of these lines are pretty close to each other. But you can see that there's an overall slope to the average. Okay, it drops down a little bit here, but then it starts going back up. But then overall, if we take this point and this point, you can see the average is what? Okay, the average is going up. So as the market is falling, volume is increasing. So what does that mean? Well, if volume is up, what should we see? Number one, follow through. Or number two, a reversal. How do we know we're going to get number two or we're going to get number one? Well, this is very critical here. Number one is what should happen. If we don't, how do we know we're not going to get number one, follow through? Because you'll start to see this and then a lack of follow through. How is that important over here? I'm getting to that. Okay, so we see that the volume is increasing. This was a major move down. Volume is coming to a peak right here on the bottom. The market tries to come down again. Volume just isn't there. There's the little dipper pattern from this overall bounce. Market pops up, boom, comes down. There's your little dipper pattern. You know professional money is likely to be behind this whole move. The market starts coming back up. So as the market is moving up to this point here, let me move this down. What can we say now that the market is moving into this area here? Well, here's the bottom that we just talked about. Let's take a look at the volume. We'll put the beginning line here and we'll take it to right there. Now what is volume doing? Volume is moving down as the market is moving up. So then the market makes this high right here. Now we're getting into the 29th. So now we're coming into the 29th. Now what are we seeing? Well, we're seeing that volume has moved up slightly.